Hello everyone, welcome to my laundry room. I wanted to start off our lesson today on measurement. If you recognize this is the plant that Calvin's grandparents gave us, and we had been measuring it. And if you want to take a look, we got this vine's pretty long when we were going to measure how long it's gotten, and so is this one. So what we're going to do is, because I need to hold the camera, hold the vine, and hold the tape measure, I cannot do all those at the same time since that's three things and I only have two hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to get the tape measure next to the vine ready, and then we'll start back up to measure it. Alright, this is a little bit tough to do with it hanging and in my hand, and hopefully that's not too blurry, but if you look, it is right at the 25 inches. And then you're probably thinking, well, we don't remember what it was. Well, luckily I am crazy about organization, and I have the old email that I had sent to his grandparents to let him know when we measured mid-year. So I'll pause again and I'll be right back with you so we can do that math. You need to have the paper ready. See you in a sec. Okay, since I started the video on front view, it won't let me change it, so we're going to have to do it this way. So here's our results. On September 9th, when we got the plant, it was 14.5 inches. Then we measured it again in January. I didn't have the day, but on the day in January that we did it, it was 18.5 inches. It grew 4 inches, so we made the prediction that it would grow about 4 more, which would be about 23 inches. But then we talked about spring will have arrived. And if spring arrived, we might get more sun and more warm weather, so that would maybe make it grow even more. And if we look on 4/12, which is right now, it's 25 inches. So this time it grew 6.5 inches already, and it's not even the end of the school year. So when we predicted about 23, maybe more, well, we're already at 25. So that's looking like it's going to be way more by the end of the year than we had originally thought, which is awesome. And I will be putting it outside as soon as the weather gets a little bit nicer, so maybe it'll even grow more. I had to put all the plants in my basement because I had all those plants come from the school. I didn't want anything to happen to them by not being taken care of, so I brought them all home, and it was hard to find places when my house is already very full of plants. So they've got plenty of sunshine and good care. Don't worry, and we're obviously can tell they're still growing, and so all of the plants we got this year are doing great. All right, now next is going to be a challenge lesson. Since we already did measurement to the nearest inch and centimeter this year, and you guys all were really good at that, we had talked a little bit about doing fractional measurement, and so that is what the lesson's going to be, to do half inches and quarter inches, and plus halves and quarters on a number line, which again is challenge work and above second grade. So I hope you take the time to do the extra lesson. It'll be fun, and it is going to be different. You'll see. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to today's math lesson. We are doing reading fractions, rulers, and number lines. Part 1, how to measure to the nearest half inch and quarter inch on a ruler. Part 2, how to read a number line with half and quarter marks. Note, measurement to the nearest whole unit, like inches, feet, centimeters, and meters, is the grade level expectation and will be what's used in the IPS packet work for today. Since we already learned that in class, this mini lesson is to help extend your skills with measurement to the half and quarters. A number line and a ruler are very much alike. Check out their similarities. On a ruler, each inch is considered 1 whole inch. Here's some examples. 1 whole inch, 5 whole inches, 9 whole inches. The marks in between the whole inches are fractions of an inch. Here's some examples. 1½ inches, 4 3/4 inches, 7½ inches, 10 1/4 inches. Here are the half-inch marks. Count with me. Don't forget the whole numbers. This is like what we marked and put into our math notebooks. Don't forget the whole numbers are just 2 halves put together. You ready? 0, 1/2 inch, 2 halves or 1 whole, 1½ 2, 2½ 3, 3½ 4, 4½ 5, 5½ 6. Now you try. Measure to the 1/2 inch. You can always push pause on the video if you need more time before the answer comes up. If you got 5½ inches, you are correct. Great job. Here's another. Measure to the 1/2 inch. Ready? If you got 9½ inches, you are correct. Good job. Here's another. Measure to the 1/2 inch. Ready? If you got 3½ inches, you are correct. If you missed any of these, you can always go back in the video and check your work again. Here are the 1/4 inch marks. Count with me and don't forget the whole numbers. Ready? 0, 1/4, 2/4 or 1/2, 3/4, 4/4 or 1 whole, 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4, 2, 2 1/4, 2 2/4, 2 3/4, 3. Did you notice that all the green arrows, the 1/2 inches, are marked 2 because 2/4 is equal to 1/2. Now you try. Measure to the 1/4 inch. Ready? If you got 2 1/4 inches, you are correct. Good job. Measure to the 1/4 inch. Notice this is before 1 whole. Ready? If you got 3/4 inches, you are correct. More practice. Measure to the 1/4 inch. This one, you might be thinking 2 different answers. If you got 3 2/4 inches, you are correct. But also, did you notice 3 2/4 inches is equal to or the same as 3½ inches? Great work! Do you want more? I hope so. Measuring with fractions on a number line works like measuring fractions on a ruler. Note, reading a number line with fractions is above second grade expectations. There is not a number line practice for today's IPS packet assignment. This is for extra if you want to keep watching. Number lines are read the same way as rulers. The numbers are read as whole numbers.
And the marks in between are read as fractions, just like a ruler. There are 3 steps to reading fractions on a number line. Step 1, count the spaces in between the 0 and the 1 on the number line. That is your denominator. So 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 4 spaces. That means it'll be how many out of 4, our denominator. Step 2, count the ticks, starting at the first tick after 0. Stop at the point you are naming. This is the numerator, or how many of the spaces you reached. 1, 2, 3. We got to the 3rd space, so that would be the numerator on top of the fraction, and our spaces 3/4, because we went 3 of the 4th spaces. There is a step 3 for mixed number fractions when you get past 1 whole. Step 3. If the fraction is past a whole number, steps 1 and 2 are the same, except that you count the spaces and marks in between the whole numbers closest to the fraction. Mixed number fractions is what they're called. There is 1 whole plus the fraction. Use steps 1 and 2 to find the fraction. So there is 1 whole, so you get the big full-size 1, and then to get the fraction you do what you did before. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, so it's 4ths, and we are at mark 1, 2. So we are at 2/4, but we also had the whole 1 before that, so 1 and 2/4. Can you think of what other mixed number that's the same as? If you were thinking 1 1/2, you are right. Now you try. What is the value of the space marked with the red arrow? Ready? If you thought 3/4, you are right. What is the value of the space marked with the red arrow? If you thought 2/4, you are right, but did you also think maybe a half? That is fine because 2/4 equals 1/2. What is the value of the space marked with the red arrow? Notice that it's past 1. Ready? If you were thinking 1 1/4, you are correct. If you had trouble with any of this, you can always go back through any part of this video to reteach yourself.
You did it! Way to go! I hope you enjoyed that challenge work today, and I look forward to seeing you in my reading lesson. And if you're already done with that, then have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye!